building. I am live. We're live right now. I'm going to go open up all the Facebook accounts and make sure I can see this across all the screens, and then we'll get started. That looks like it's live on my page. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Saturday. You guys have slayed your sales for the week. You guys have slayed it in your businesses. You guys are making progress. And that's what's most important, right? What's most important is making progress in your business every week, regardless of how you're feeling, regardless of what's happening with your family, regardless of what's happening with your teams or the ups and downs of life or health or, anything going on in your life. You want to be making progress every single week in your business, regardless of how you feel. This is super, super crucial. I would call this an aspect of superhuman leadership, of being able to lead yourself and being able to lead your team. So hopefully you guys are having a fantastic weekend, strong end, where you are still working on your business a little bit. You're spending some time with family and you're still gearing up for next week. So without further ado, I'm just going to make sure that, in case you guys want to join the live chat, I'm just going to invite people to the live chat. I'm going to put this onto the links here. So this is where you can join the live chat below. And then also, believe on my channel here, I will put this here. So anyone can join me on the restream for the actual chat itself. Let's see. So you guys can also just comment on the live video. I'll be able to see all your comments here. I'm just checking the live stream, making sure everything's set up. You guys, I am dropping some crazy information on you today that will literally help you scale your roofer, solar, contractor, service provider industry with your sales team and including whatever you have now. So if it's just you doing all the sales, I got stuff for you. Is it just you and like a couple guys? I got something for you. If it's you and you have a full-on sales team, I have something for you for your business today in this live training. So even if I'm mentioning some stuff that is not at your level, don't worry, stay on the live, keep watching, because I've included things from 1 to 5 million. I've included things from 5 to 10, 20 to 50, 100 million plus. Now, 100 million plus, right? There's a lot of things that could be happening in your business. You could have a lot of departments. You could have very few departments. It really depends on your business model, and everything is custom. If you've bootstrapped your business from day one and you've built a team from day one bootstrapped, you're going to have a custom business. You're going to have a business that no one else has ever seen before because you're the one that runs it, right? And you have your own workflows, you have your own way of doing things, and there are better ways to do things. And you want to, you might be thinking in your head right now, how can I generate more sales? But how can I make this easier for me? Like, I don't want to be having lower back pains because I'm looking up at roofs and I have like 12 inspections every single day, and I don't have someone to go out and take care of that for me. If you have a small team, that's a problem. That's a challenge. And you're like, oh my goodness, we have the phones ringing off the hook. And now I'm having a problem making sure that they're getting closed. I'm having problems making sure the inspections are going right. I don't want to make sure that the job gets done right. That's a huge problem. And then you'll have people that are like, they're struggling for 5 jobs a week, right? And if you're struggling at 5 jobs a week, I got something for you on this live too. Because here's the thing, you guys might have different size businesses, but you guys have people challenges because people are the people that either help you bring in the money or people have your money, okay? So most of the problems in your business are people and systems and process related. How easy is it for a customer to get an inspection booked, to send you the initial payment, to get their roof done, and then to come back and send referrals your way? How easy is that on a scale of 1 to 10 in your business right now? How easy is that? Is it a 5? Is it a 10? Or is it a 1? Okay, be really real for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how easy is it for someone to get an inspection, get the roof done, and send you a payment within 24 hours or less? How easy is that? Scale of 1 to 10, your business right now. Just be honest. If you have a notebook out, fantastic. Write this out because it's super important for you to understand right away, right now in your business. Even if you're 100 million, even at you're 1 to 5 million, you want to understand how easy it is for customers to buy with you and get a process done through your service and what you provide. So just going to make sure there's no one's commented here. So I'm going to start with the really basic model of how to build your sales team. If you have maybe 1 or 2 people in your sales team, I'm going to go over some options for building that. Okay, so here's what I think the function of a sales team is for me personally, and this is what I teach others that are clients with me. They have, um, 2 million or whatever they have in their business per year, and they're in the service provider industry. And that is your sales team. Their goal with your sales team is to provide invaluable, incredible customer service that makes you stand out from every other company that is competing in the same market. Okay, that's their number one goal. It's actually not sales. Okay, their second goal is to be leaders with customers and lead them to a decision to work with your company, to take a payment, to schedule the inspection. And that is their major role. Their major role is customer retention, customer satisfaction, making sure that everything's scheduled properly, making sure that the customer follows the right steps. Your salespeople should not have to worry about making sure that the people in the office follow the right steps. The salespeople should only be focused on making sure that the customer follows the right steps so that there is an absolute great customer experience. So that means making sure that the contract gets signed by the customer, making sure they go over the contract, making sure the estimate is to the customer's liking and there's no questions, making sure that payment goes out, the payment comes in, whether it's credit card, cash, check, right? That's the goal of your sales team. And if your sales team right now is, running estimates and doing all of that, I have to put this to you. It's not scalable. What do I mean by not scalable? That'll work for now. That'll work for another million or so on top of whatever you're doing right now, okay? But that's not going to work if you want more than 10 million per year. The model will not work more than 10 million per year, but it'll continue to work for you right now. You'll be able to continue to grow with that model. But what you need to be thinking about is what are the departments that I need so that each person can focus on what they're really good at. Because your salesperson is just really good at talking to people, you might not want them having to write up estimates, okay? So just keep that in mind for your sales team. Like, what is your sales team actually doing right now in your company? And what do you want them to be focusing on instead of doing all these other jobs? This is what I call role assignment. Are you assigning roles to your company? Are you assigning roles to each salesperson? So they're like, man, I signed up for a sales job and I'm doing coffee runs. I'm now making sure that the office running smoothly. I'm now filing out paperwork. Okay, you got to be thinking. You got to be thinking about making sure that roles are assigned and defined when you hire someone. Okay, if someone coming into your company and they're a salesperson, and then they don't get to sell every day, you don't have enough leads coming in. Okay, you're not ready for a salesperson. So if you don't have more than 12 or 15 leads that a salesperson can close on in your company, you probably don't want a salesperson full time in your company yet. Okay. That means like there's other things going on in your business that you need to solve first before you bring in a salesperson. And that's for people that have like a team of 5 or less. Okay, that's 1 million per year or less. I want to focus today more on 1 million plus. So 1 to 5, 10, 20, 100 million, because that's where you're going. And I don't want to talk about where you are right now too much, because I want you to be thinking bigger. I want you to be thinking on the future, and I want you to organize and plan your business so that you don't have bottlenecks as you grow. So making sure that your sales team has assigned roles, super crucial. Making sure that they know what they're doing, okay, super crucial. Understanding your sales team is your cash flow and your customer retention and customer satisfaction. They are the first line of defense. So if you have a person that's not good with sales, they're not good with people, they do not need to be in that position, okay? Anyone that has low patience levels, high stress levels, any kind of anything, you do not want them in the sales position. They are not fit for sales. Maybe they're fit for estimating. Maybe they're fit for certain parts of your business, but do not put them in a sales position, because your first line of defense is actually your salespeople, because they're the first line of contact for a lot of your customers. And then you, of course, you're also another line of contact for your customers if you haven't defined the roles yet for your company. So let's also talk about the ways that you can incorporate the in-person inspection estimating portion with the sales process. And here's what I'm thinking is you have a sales team, right? But then you also have people that do sales, that go out to the job, that do the inspection, that do the estimate, and then you might have them work on the same roof. Okay, that might be what your model is right now, and that might work really well right now. But you want to be thinking, like that person's going to be all over the place. So, and then you can have, I'm sure some of you guys have door knockers, right? But what I want to focus on is inbound leads. Today, I want to focus on inbound sales, because eventually you get to the point where you don't need to do as much hard, cold door knocking, as you will have leveraged your brand and your authority as a company to the point where you don't need to do door knocking. I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys do door knocking. Yes, it does work. Yes, absolutely. But as you grow your company, as you build your authority, you're going to have more inbound leads than cold outbound. It's the structure of society, the structure of the roofing industry. It is drastically changing on a weekly, monthly basis. And you got to follow the times. And the times is social media. The times is branding. The times is social proofing and trust proofing. Yes, cold calls probably will never go out of style until we have some other new AI device of some sort. But what you want to be thinking about is the future of the industry, the future of sales, the future of service, the future of your company. And you want to stay on the top line. You want to stay on the top of the game. And it's not always going to be cold outbound, okay? How can you get more warm people into your business? That's essential. And that's lead generation. So just coming back around, because I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, I wanted to mention that, yes, you can have someone that answers the call, does the sale, closes the sale, goes out to the roof, does the inspection, does the estimating. Okay, that is like when you saw that is 6 different skill sets, okay, in one person. Now, this is going to be your challenge, because what you're literally looking to hire for is not a salesperson for that position. You're literally looking to hire someone that can run their own roofing company. Okay. Do you see the difference between hiring someone with 1 skill set versus hiring someone with 5? When you hire for someone with 5, you're literally hiring in maybe an ex-roofer that had his own company into your team, because you need someone that's skilled at all 5. Okay. And you just got to be careful with that, because understand that like they could literally run their own business, right? Okay. And you needed to hire them because you didn't have assigned roles in your company. So that will work for some companies for a little bit, okay? But you don't want to see that, do not see that as a long-term strategy. You want to create separated departments that have their communication channel lines in between the departments, right? And you have department managers, because that's what you're looking at for the multi-millions, okay? For the larger companies, you're going to have departments, okay? So here's how I see it. You have your inbound call specialists. They literally deal with all the phone calls, okay? And they have their estimating department. They have someone that can write out the estimates and do like less than an hour turnaround time, where they can write out an estimate or a general contract. And then they have someone that goes out and inspects the roof and closes the deal, okay? So you have your inbound, the people that call on the phone, and throughout the process of that person getting the inspection, looking at the contract in person on the roof, the person, the sales guy, the main guy, is following up, making sure the process is going good, and he's like literally guiding the rest of he's guiding the sales process, okay? And then all the person does, the roofer, right? You need a skilled roofer to go look at the inspection, okay? You need someone skilled that's good with people and can be like, the customer is ready to sign and pay, okay? And then let's say the customer is not ready to sign and pay. That's where you have your closer come back in and go through the process again with that customer. But you want to have a system where it's closed. You want to have a closed loop. So no matter where the customer is in the journey, you're always having a conversation on the phone with them. You're always having someone talking with them. Okay. So, and that's the thing too, is a lot of people say, okay, you need a roofer. You need someone super skilled at roofing to do your sales. Yes, you can do that. But then you want to be thinking like, do you want each salesperson going out to every single roof? Okay. So if you have that model, I would have someone do the estimating, okay? I wouldn't have your roofer try and write out a whole estimate on the roof. like I would have that pre-done so that your roofer that does sales for you literally gets the phone call, goes out to the job, and there's the estimate's already done. Okay. The estimating part, I think, really needs to be its own department, because it's literally, it's not necessarily a different skill set, but you think about time. Okay. Think about the amount of time it takes to write up an estimate with all the details. Okay. If your roofer just goes out, punches in the details, and the estimator already is on the line that's like already doing that, now the roofer has a chance to talk to the customer, build that rapport, talk to them about whatever, their family or their pet dog. And then boom, the estimate gets sent to the salesperson on the roof, and then they can close the job then and there. Okay. But if you're having your roofer have to do like the whole estimate and everything himself, you're still looking at hiring an ex-business roofer into your company, or an ex-business, you're just looking at someone that has a bunch of skill sets, right? The perfect right, which is absolutely fine. You can find those. Okay. You can hire amazing people into your company. There's nothing against that. But if you want to hire like 10 of them, 20 of them, okay, you're looking at like really making sure that you're getting your interview process done correctly. So here's how I have it is you have someone that's constantly has their number, that follows up with the customer every single step of the way. Okay. Especially if you are in a customer to direct consumer. Okay, you're not B2B, you're not business owner to the commercial business owner for their commercial roof. You're directly B2C. You want someone that guides them through the insurance process, that walks them through every single step. And that can be the salesperson on the other end of that phone that had the first contact point with the customer. Okay, and that's, when you look at sales, you're looking at 5 to 7 contact points per person to close a deal. Okay. And if that person can provide like 20 contact points with that customer, you're that much more likely to close the deal. Like you're that much more likely to close a deal. So imagine that the person on the other end of the line is really guiding this customer through every single process in the roofing journey, or in the commercial roofing journey, or in the paving journey, or whatever your business is right now. So that's what you want to be thinking about. One second, let me just pop this back up. There we go. Yeah, that's what you want to be thinking about is, how do I define my roles so that I don't have someone that needs to do estimating, phone calls, roof inspections, and roofing. Okay. And then, knowing how to roof and knowing how to close, they're a little bit different. If you can agree with me, someone that's skilled with people and knows how to close a sale is going to have different skill sets as someone's just like should only be doing roofing. Okay. I've seen people try to train their most super skilled roofers into sales, and it's taking them months to gain traction because that roofer just absolutely loves to roof, does not want to have anything to do with sales. Okay. There's internal motivators. And if you're super skilled roofer or service provider, worker or foreman is not motivated to do sales, like he just wants to do roofs, or he just wants to do paving, or he just wants to do the foreman work, you gotta look at the bigger picture here, and you might want to actually train someone on how to sell roofs rather than how to do roofs. Okay, bring on someone that already is super skilled in sales that can learn the back end woods of the basic roof system, and then boom. Okay, so think about it in terms of roles, in terms of role assignment. Roles and role assignment is super crucial. So building your team, building your sales team. Ideally, you want like several people going out and doing the inspections and looking at the roofs. You already want to have a pre-written contract, and you already want to have a baseline or like a semi-blank estimate that gets filled out by an estimator on your team live. So let's say that Johnny is scheduled for a roof inspection on Wednesday at that job. An estimator is assigned to Johnny at such and such a time. So then Johnny sends the details to the estimator over the phone real quick while he's on the roof inspecting, and then the estimator does his work. Okay, he sends out that number. He emails the contract to Johnny's phone. Okay. And then Johnny, while this is happening, can talk to the customer about his dog, or what he loves to do for his business, or, what he likes. Boom. Now Johnny has the estimate. Johnny talks to the customer. Johnny has the customer sign. Okay, green light. Johnny takes the payment. It can all be 100% digital. You could have a written contract if you want, but then again, the estimate would have to be pre-written out. Okay. And then let's say that is a super simple job and Johnny doesn't need to take like sophisticated details about the roof to get a general estimate. Then Johnny will just give those details of the estimate over the phone, or whatever the customer's, talks about to the estimator. And then he comes with a printed estimate to the customer. Okay. That's fantastic, right? You could close a lot of sales that way, especially if the payment option is right then and there. And again, if you're working with insurance, you want that first point of contact, that salesperson, to be walking that person through every step of the process so they know what they need to do for insurance, how they need to close that, how they need to process that, and then ultimately, the results and what the customer is going to be looking at once they do their roof inspection. So that's specifically for roofing. Again, if you're doing mechanic work or you're doing other businesses, right, there's a different way to do inspections. You might have a maintenance check. You might have something else in plans, but you really want to have a process for your pricing, your inspections, and then your phone work, right? They need to be a team. And one of the best ways to do this is to make sure that everyone's on the same calendar. So, okay, you can see what Johnny's schedule is from Monday through Friday. You can see which job he's at. And then, things can be scheduled for Johnny accordingly. You're not going to double schedule a roof for Johnny on Tuesday and have 2 overbooked or double booked appointments at 2 p.m. Make sure that Johnny gets his lunch break, right? Those are all things you need to be looking at, right? So let's say you have only just a couple salespeople right now and your close ratio is relatively low. Number one is your contact points. I would increase your customer contact points at least more. Okay. If you're doing 3 contact points, no, you need to increase that to at least 10. Either that's phone calls, emails, texts, but most likely phone calls or an in-person drop off, say hello, bring a coffee. Okay. There's a few ways to increase your close rates, but one of them really is just to have more relationship with the customer so that they're more willing to invest and buy the product, because they're probably getting sold other products by your competitors at the same time. They're probably looking at different things, but imagine that you show up clean every day for them and they can't get you out of your head. And by the time you've had their 3rd phone call, they already know what your name is. They already know what you like. They already know about your company. They're more likely to go with you. Okay. So that's how you can increase your conversion rates. So the hiring process is super crucial. Number one, you got to shift your beliefs, because your beliefs around hiring, your beliefs around bringing someone onboarding into your company, like all that affects who you interview, who you get to interview, and the process and the outcome. So number one, it's believing that you can have a superstar in your team come in and completely change your business and change your sales. Okay. If you don't have that belief right now, I wouldn't hire, to be honest, because you're doing a disservice for yourself and for your business if you don't believe you can bring on a superstar. Okay. And that is identity shift work. That's personal development shift work. That is internal development shift. Like, you got to shift what you believe, because what you think is what you feel, and what you feel creates your behaviors, and your behaviors create your actions. And potential people that are going to be interviewing with you can smell that a mile away. Okay. You don't want, bottom of the barrel. Okay. And you avoid that by having the right mindset and energy. It's all about energy. It's all about how you present yourself. It's all about how you pitch the position for your company. So I would like you guys, if you guys are, you guys have a pen and paper, I'm assuming, I would like you guys to write out who your ideal next hire is. And I want you to go as deep as possible, like imagining in full glory this ideal person coming in. So are they super skilled at roofing and they know roofing like the back of their hand and they're super skilled with sales? Okay. Or are they just like crazy skilled at estimating and they're really good at talking to customers? Okay. Or are they just really good at estimating? Okay. And they can just they can punch out estimates in less than 10 minutes. Okay. Paint the picture of this ideal person in your mind until you literally feel like you can talk with them, handshake with them, and interview them. Okay. Get this super, super clear in your mind, because this is what's going to change your game. So what are their hobbies? What do they like to do? Do they have a family? Do they live in your town? What's the hourly rate you're going to pay them? Okay. What are the bonuses? How many hours are they going to be working for you a week? How's it going to feel to have them in your team? What's their personality traits? Like, what are their thoughts? What are their mindsets around what they're doing? Okay. What are their goals or their life goals for you, for the company, for themselves, for their family, if they have one? What are their life goals? And like, imagine this person like fully detailed out. And then you write a post, you write an interview process that matches this person that you've created right now on this webinar with me today. So writing out, what they like, what they dislike, their personality traits, their values, what their hobbies are, what their life goals are, what their skill sets are, details about the job, details about their pay, and then how you're going to help them succeed and what the results for them are going to be in your business by them deciding to invest with you, investing their time for money. Okay. So it's not just you hiring someone and paying them. They're literally investing their time into your business. Now, they may not even realize it, but you got to realize it for them that they're investing time into your business, time, sweat, blood, tears away, like time away from the family for financials, right? So you got to be thinking, how can I support this person towards their dreams in the company and have them do a fantastic job for me as well? Okay, it is collaboration, not competition. It is how you can create a supportive environment for this person you're bringing in. Now, when you do this and you write this out super detailed, and then you do a live, you have this in your posts, watch your interview process change. Watch the people that raise their hands change. You do this correctly with the right energy and the right mindset, you'll absolutely find someone that's a perfect fit for your position. But until you have the right mindset, none of what I'm saying is gonna assist you. You know what I mean? Like, it has to happen up here, has to happen in your heart first. You have to believe it first before it really starts to click for you, because if you don't believe in a strategy, it won't work. It doesn't matter what strategy it is. If you don't believe in it, it won't work. That's, as a business coach, if you have a strategy and believe in it, it'll work. If you have a strategy, you don't believe in it, well, nothing will work if you don't believe in it, right? So you got to have that mindset, you got to have the heart right. And then you just got to really imagine in your mind this person, right? Get as detailed as you can. Do your research, look up different things, whatever it is that'll help you click this into real in your mind. And then also, here's another thing you can do is as you're going about your day, or maybe on Facebook, or maybe you're doing something, I would keep a little mental note of people that you would potentially hire and what you liked about this person that you talked with and what their skill sets were. And just kind of keep a mental note of who you'd hire and why you would hire them. That's going to help you like reframe and retrain your skill sets for looking for good people. Because part of it is being able to see good people. The other part is being able to track good people. And the other part is interviewing them and bringing them into your company. So, I have some very simple sheets for interviews. So that goes over some really basic interview questions, how to onboard your new hire, and then how to set up some really basic training protocols for them once they land in your company. If you'd like those sheets, comment sheet. I'll make sure to send you a private message and get those over to you. That'll be very helpful in having some kind of structure for your people to land into, okay? Now, in terms of outsourcing, there are people that do private estimating per hour, right? There's different levels to that. There's people that do really great subcontract work for estimating, and they're lifers for the customers that they work with, and they could be fantastic for someone that's not able to hire someone full time, that just needs some work done, good work done with high turnaround time. Okay, there's people that do that, right? It's up to you to define and decide if that's a good fit for your company, or if you're just, boom, let's hire a full-time estimator. We have the position, we have everything in order for that person to completely excel, right? If you hire someone, you always want to make sure that they have the platform to succeed. So if you don't have things to help them estimate, you don't have a desktop for them, you don't even have an office for them, like, you want to make sure that you set them up to success. And so that's where subcontracting can work out in your favor, because usually a professional estimator, they'll have their own software, they'll have ways to measure roofs, they'll have ways to make things look professional for your company. And it can be an option for people that are in the 1 million and a little bit above or a little bit under per year mark. Okay. If you're at 5 million, 10 million, above, obviously Hey, Henry Yoder, good to see you here, man. Yeah, absolutely. I can send you a few of those sheets. They're just the outlines. And then also, I do custom interview questions for depending on the business based on values. So if you have values and you have a very specific person you want to interview for, and you want custom interview questions and custom processes, I can absolutely help you build that out. But Henry, I'll make sure to get that to you after this call. So yeah, if you're at 5 million per year or more, and you have the sales to pretty much make sense for your company, hire someone in person. Make sure to get in-house. In-house is always going to be better than subcontracted to a point. And then of course, as you're like $100 million company plus, everything needs to be in-house, and you're going to be actually hiring brand new people, training them into your systems rather than hiring skilled people. Hiring skilled people is really great for businesses of 5, 10, 15, 20 people where there's not enough energy, momentum, and protocols in place to train brand new people. But you'll find out that as you build your company and as you put in the systems and the workflows and like the important stuff that'll help your company run smoothly, you'll have people that can literally train brand new people into estimating departments, into roofing departments, into sales departments, into phone calls, into bookkeeping or whatever it is in your company. You'll actually have the assets, the hours, the training protocols to train brand new people up. And that is a fantastic way to keep team morale, because if you hire too many people that have been at like 7 other jobs or 7 of the other same industries, they'll have kind of they may have a hardened mindset towards your company. But if you have brand new people, they can kind of become molded to your team culture. And ideally, your team culture needs to be extremely high energy, extremely motivated towards personal development and family and what your values are. And that needs to be the environment in your company. You can't have people that are complaining on the job, kicking rocks. You just cannot have that at all in your company, right? You have to have super clean energy. And so having brand new people that are like maybe 18, 20, 22, 24, or maybe even older, that just haven't been in the industry, just bringing them in and training them, it's a fantastic thing, because you're actually doing a service. You're actually giving someone a position that they may not have had. Other options for people like that are like flipping burgers, right? So imagine you can have someone come in, learn all the ropes, become an extremely skilled roofer, and have like a long-term career. Okay, like that's the opportunity for training brand new people. But right now, if you're 5 million or less, you don't have the resources to do that. You want someone that's already semi-skilled coming in your company. Otherwise, you're going to run out of hours to train them. You can train someone on basic roofing systems, right? If they're coming in as a laborer, but if they're coming in and you have like 5 other roofs to do that day, you're going to have to hire someone else to come in and train that brand new person, right? So just think about it in terms of scale, in terms of size, in terms of assets, time, and organization. If you don't have the training protocols in place, like I would suggest not doing it. Just because, it's all about the resources and what you have available. And then, what you're doing right now in your company. Right now, if you're at 1 to 5 million, 5 to 10, your main priority is cash flow and creating enough cash flow so that you can start to do that, right? You can start to hire more people. So that's essential. All right. So here's another option for people that, don't have a full-on sales team yet. You have like a couple people, and there's actually companies that are trained through Grant Cardone, and they literally are super skilled at the sales piece. So that means that if someone gets a phone call, someone hits a button for a phone call, they'll answer within like 3 seconds. They'll lead them through the sales process. You can train them on the roofing systems or how you want to have the calls, and they literally will answer all your calls for you. And it's a subcontracted thing, but they could literally do some of the work for you on a case by close basis, right? Or appointment booked or a sale close basis for you. And that is a really handy feature to have if you're like really small company and you have your phone ringing off the hook, right? So think about different ways that you can leverage subcontractors as needed, and then think about how you can get someone super skilled in your company. Because imagine you bring in someone that can do a little bit of roofing, super skilled at sales, super great on the phone, and is willing to go check out some jobs for you. Okay. One of those people could change your entire business. Okay. One of those people could change your entire business. I'm going to say that a couple times, because if you're at that small business level, that, 1 to 5 million, You're like one person like that could change your entire life and your business, and then they could, just kill your sales game for you. So think about that. Think about those options. And yeah, as you grow your business, so let's say the 10 to 20 million mark, you're gonna have people that just specifically only answer the phones. You're gonna have people that specifically do estimating. You have people that specifically do inspections. Okay. And then, obviously the person that does inspection, maybe they're skilled in doing the payment processing. But ideally, and this is what I want you guys to think about, ideally think about how you can have the customer close before the inspection. Think about ways that can close your customer before you even get on their roof, because all I'm seeing in the industry right now is a lot of free inspections, a lot of free stuff, a lot of time, and low conversions. How can you make it so that the customer commits before they get on the roof, before you even go do the inspection, before you get on their roof? Okay. Think about those questions. It's going to be personal towards your business, but I can guarantee you start to solve those problems and you may need less sales. You may need less. And what I mean by that, you may need less salespeople is what I meant. You may need to you might not have to close as hard. You might not have to work as hard for each inspection to close. If you plan ahead to have the customer semi to fully committed before this inspection is booked. And I will tell you this, it is the phone call. It is the first contact point that shifts and can change your customer's personal experience and view on your company. So within the first 5, 10, and 20 seconds from answering the phone, you change whether your customer decides to do business with you or not. I'm serious. It's that powerful, the first 20 to 30 seconds on the first phone call that you answer. Seriously, it is crazy, but that is how first impressions are created. And if you can maintain that amazing personal image that your customer had of you from the first 20 to 30 seconds on that phone call to the 5-minute mark, to the 10-minute mark, to the mark where the person comes out and inspects the roof, and your entire team can maintain that level of expectation and that level of view of your company, they will go with you. It's just that simple, okay? So understanding first impressions and how to leverage that towards a committed customer before they get on the roof. Let me make sure I don't have any other questions here. I'm just going to go through and make sure no one, it is going to show most comments here on the live, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. So again, this training was just to serve you guys, really. The Facebook community that we're building together, all of you guys are at different levels in business. And I just wanted to come out here today and help all of you guys in some way have something you can take away to apply to your business. Sales is service. From my heart, I'm always about service. I'm always about serving and over delivering and over promising and over delivering. That's my favorite thing to say because I absolutely love giving. So you also make sure your salespeople love giving too. That's going to get you way more farther than someone that's just skilled at closing. Okay. Get someone that absolutely loves to give and can hold boundaries, of course. And that'll actually boost your company sales way more than someone that's skilled in sales tactics, okay? Sales tactics are going out the window. It's about service. It's about knowing how to come from the heart and how to communicate properly with the customer. So you actually want to kind of stray away from some of the really intense sales tactics. Most salespeople have the gist of how to build a conversation and how to ask those questions anyways. So what you really need to be training your team on is energy, and service, okay? And if you can do those two things, people will buy just because they like you, dude. I've done it myself where someone offered me something and normally I wouldn't even buy it. Normally I wouldn't even invest in it. But this person was just so good at serving and caring that I literally went out of my way to buy the product. Seriously, that's me personally. And someone that can do that will be selling millions for your company. Okay. And that's something I just wanted to point out to you guys because again, it's service, it's coming from the heart, it's delivering on the product and service and good. And then it's going to make sure that your company's organized, you're hiring the right people to do the job, right? So to summarize, if you're at 5, 10, 20 million, you want to be thinking in terms of departments. You want to be thinking in terms of hiring for estimating, hiring for inspections, right? Hiring for people that are just going to do the roof, right? Foreman positions, hiring for phone calls, okay? And then for the person that does inspections, they should already be like close to being closed, so that that person doesn't need to be crazy skilled at sales and follow up, unless you guys have developed a system that just really works for the person that's booking the inspection to do the sales like then and there with the customer. And then if you are like 1 to 5 million and like 1 million and under, you're probably going to be wanting to have someone that can answer the phone and go look at inspections. It's not ideal, but it'll work, right? And then also 1 to 5 million and then under 1 million, if you can have someone specialized in just answering the phone and then semi-closing the deal before passing it to the inspector, using a subcontractor, right? If you're not able to hire someone in full time, then that is an option for you as well. So I really hope that this helped you guys in the ways it helped you guys. Ask me any questions, put questions in the comments, #replay if you're watching the replay. And again, I will be available. I am the public Facebook group admin here. I think it's also live on my profile as well. So any questions, comment below. Henry, I'll be reaching out to you later, my man. And I am so excited to see all your businesses grow. Now, if you're interested or want to look into how to invest with me, comment, meet, and we can talk about how you can work with me and how we can scale your company. Again, I look forward to seeing all of you guys succeed, every single one of you guys on this live, every single type of business, every single type of person. I'm looking for every single person in my entire network to grow to multi-millions and then some. So love you guys, leave you, and I will see you guys on the next training. Have a good one, you guys. Bye-bye.